What's up, guys? I was ice fishing yesterday and caught a bunch of pike, actually. I don't usually keep a lot of pike ice fishing, but man, these things were everywhere. They were hitting my tip downs. So I brought 3 pike home, and I'm going to show you guys how to clean pike in the most efficient way, utilizing all of the meat. I know they can kind of get a bad rap for being bony, so in this video, what I'm going to be doing is showing you the method that I use to clean pike to get boneless sections, and then saving a certain section with the only section with bones, saving that for pickling to make sure you're utilizing all of the animal. I am going to be cleaning one with the normal blade and then also one with the electric knife, just so you guys can see the difference based on what type of knife you had. Kind of talking about pros and cons of each. And it'll also be really interesting for us here to see what is in this guy's stomach, because I'm telling you, it's something. I am guessing some type of panfish, but we'll find out once we get to that one. Just to get an idea how big these fish are, the largest one is about 30 inches. And then 28, 26. These are about the perfect size that I personally like to keep. Obviously, the little hammer handles, those it's tough to clean enough to get boneless sections. And anything bigger than that, the ones too much over 30, personally, I would rather let those go to let them continue to become trophy fish. So let's zip these up. I'll walk you guys through it. We'll start with the normal blade. Just gonna slide these other 2 in the sink for now. All right, so here we go. I call this the, I guess, 5 meat method. I'm gonna start with the pike on its belly. Essentially, I'm gonna be getting a boneless section on the top loins. I'm gonna be getting boneless section here, boneless section here on the tail. And then I'll show you how to cut out that bone meat to save for pickling. To start, on the belly, I'm going to go right here at the start of this. It helps to hold the pike between its eyes, actually, to make sure it's not slipping down. I'm going to go down with the bubba blade, and then at this point, as soon as I feel the spine there, I'm turning my knife, and I'm running that right across the top. At this point, we can go up by that dorsal fin. Now, all of this meat is boneless. The Y bones, you can actually hear them if you listen. They're running right at the top of that. There's the Y bones. By cutting this way, I left all of those on there, and there's no bones in this section right here. I'm just going to cut this in half. And then I'm turning my knife and running it down like that to get the skin off. And then the same thing on this part of the skin. Man, pike are slimy. One thing that I did with these fish is I probably let them freeze a little too much on the ice when I caught them. Now for this part, I already did it with these ones. There's kind of a little middle section right there, and I like to just cut that out. So, can usually just run the knife right down there. Get this into 2 different sides of that loin. You can see it better in this cross section. There's just, I like to just cut some of that out. Loin, 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 loin. Now at this point, the pike's Y bones essentially run about to here. So from where I lifted that up, I'm now going to angle my knife a little bit just to at least be below the vent, right? I don't want to be cutting into the, essentially, fish dookie. Okay, so right below the vent, I'm going to go straight down. I'm going to turn my knife. And that's going to be another boneless piece of meat. Cut the skin off of that. Now on the tail, Some people are picky about cutting off all of that red stuff. I personally don't think it has an off-putting flavor. These fish were caught through the ice, which is probably the only time I'll ever keep pike. They're much better tasting, in my opinion, during that time of year. Once again, from this side, there we go. And now, unfortunately, this is the point where a lot of people, and I've seen videos of this in the past, that's what they do. Boneless section, and this whole entire fish gets thrown away. Alright, and I'm not really a big fan of that, so what I'll do at this point, I'm going to cut down and I'm going to fillet the rest of this fish like I would a normal fillet method. There's the backbone. Going along that backbone. But you can see, like right here, there's Y bones. Yes, this section is going to have bones in it, and that's okay. This is what I'm going to freeze separately to use for pickling, or I actually might get into canning it too, and both of those methods dissolve bones. And you'll see once I get this fillet off of here, that's a lot of meat that otherwise would be going to waste. I should cut off this silver skin. Get the skin off of that and that. On the other side, same thing. Work that knife there. And when I do the one with the electric fillet knife next, you are gonna see how I can cut this a lot quicker, just ripping right through those bones with the electric. I could do that with this Bubba too, but I'm showing you guys how to kind of actually carve it out there. Anything like that, just cut it out. There we go. You can see what I'm left with is not a whole lot. And unlike the other one, this one does not have anything in his belly. So now all of these sections, these all have the Y bones in them quite a bit. I mean, yeah, you could cook it if you want to pick through bones. I'm sure you could trim up parts of this to get it boneless. Like for those of you that don't pickle, you can cut off this more belly section. This has no bones in it. Right here, all of that has no bones, so you could do that, but like I said, because I'm gonna pickle it anyway, this is all staying separate for me. Oops. This is all staying separate in a different bag specifically for cooking up either canning or pickling. All right, now it's time to see how this works with the electric fillet knife. Let me switch this to wide angle lens maybe. So this knife I actually just got in the mail today. I've never owned a rechargeable electric knife. It was always with a cord, and that was super annoying. So sent me this one to test out, and what's cool is the batteries already came charged, so I didn't even have to plug it in and charge it. I'm personally liking the color scheme because Packers play the Eagles today, so go Pack, go. Pretty much right when I get done cleaning these, I'm going to go turn that game on. So same thing here on the belly. Zips down. Now you obviously got to be a little more conscious with an electric, because when that gets to the bone, you got to know that. You can't keep pushing right through it or you'll saw your fish in half. Let me get this out of the way before it gets all slimed up. Alright, then you're turning this knife over. Voila. There's that loin section. Looking lovely. I'll try to cut this one off as a whole just to show you guys. And same thing here, find that middle and just cut on each side of it. Once you do that, I might be able to just pull him like this. That's a little bit too mushy, I think, because it slightly froze yesterday, so I better just cut it all the way down. Here you go. I see I can pull that off. And there's that middle section, which does actually have some bones in it. So you do have to get rid of that middle section, and you end up with the two loins right there. Doing the same thing for the two tail sections. I just did the other one, the GoPro wasn't going. Turn the knife. All boneless. And then once again, this is that part that sometimes gets tossed by people, unfortunately, in my opinion, but right here, down to that section and over. Now with the electric, I'm going to show a different way how you can just cut right through the bones. I'm just going to turn it right there. Honestly, that's almost easier. I didn't go into the belly meat. There's really nothing else right there. And you can see that's right to the spine. Nothing's wasted. And then since this is going to just be chunks anyway, I don't need to get the whole entire section. So down, over, down, over. So far, I definitely would say I prefer the electric when doing this, 100%. Oh baby, this is the pike I just cleaned, and I know you guys are probably curious about what's in this big one's stomach, and we're about to do that one next. Don't worry, skip ahead if you are impatient, you want to see what it is. But this one, I've got something in here too. Oh, bluegill. That is the tail of a bluegill that is very digested, but that's what he was eating before he ate my shiner. And last one, here we go. Time to clean this big one. And we're gonna find out what's in the belly here shortly after we knock the sides off them. All right, last pike here that I'm doing for you, putting it at a different perspective so you can kind of watch how this is done. Loins, tail sections. Remember, here's where that vent's at. At this point, some people do like to use the actual fillet knife to separate the loin sections. Get rid of that part, very important. Two loin sections, two tail sections, that's boneless. And then of course the last part is getting out that boned part section to use for pickling. Once again, if there are any little rib bones you gotta clear out. Sometimes using the hand blade's a little easier on that part. My brother-in-law Tyler got me this Bubba blade for Christmas. Shout out to Tyler. It's super sharp. Love it. All right. Of course, we all want to know what's causing this guy's stomach to be so inflated. So let's check it out. Let's see what this thing ate. I'm sure it's something. There are eggs, so this was a female pike. And there is the stomach right here. Got the liver. Here's the stomach. Let's see what's in it. I'm gonna cut through right there, and oh yeah, bluegill. Head first. Probably was about a 5-inch bluegill that he chomped before he chomped my shiner. Before bagging up the pike to freeze it, I do like to just let it soak in some cold fresh water. This just I'll rinse it and stuff too. This just allows the slime to help dissipate, make sure that fish is really cleaned up and firm. While I'm waiting to do that, I should give a little shout out to this electric knife. They sent this to me to test it out, and I was extremely impressed with it. Like I said, as a Packer fan, I personally like the color scheme. Comes with this nice case. Has 2 different blade sizes right here. I used the bigger of the 2 for pike, but this one looks like it would work really nice for panfish. I believe this is the 7-inch blade, opposed to this being the 9-inch blade. And like I mentioned, 2 12-volt lithium-ion batteries that are rechargeable. So if I had a bunch of fish to burn through, I could be charging one of them with an outlet while I'm using one and just keep switching back and forth like that. Very simple design. Just the pressing, you can have a lock on it right there, and then it's good to go on that. I'm not really sure what the purpose of this finger guard is, but I guess it's just a safety thing, knowing that hand can't slip out of there. So I will link this in the description for you guys if you are interested in checking one of these out too. I believe they gave me a discount code that I can share with you also. Very reasonably priced fillet knife, and I was impressed with it on that first go. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped you. Like I said, I make this video and I show you this because as sportsmen, I feel like it's our responsibility to utilize all of an animal, not let anything go to waste. And that goes for northern pike too. If you're going to throw them on the ice, make sure you use them for all they're worth and maximize the amount of meat you can get from them. Thanks for watching. And go back.